Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing great. It's been a while since my last video. I have been super busy with work at my company. I had a few personal projects that I wanted to finish, and I'm so sorry that I haven't been around. But from now on, the plan is to be more active on the channel, and let's see if I can do it. So in today's video, we are gonna talk about noses, more specifically stylized noses and how their shape can change the vibe of a character. And that will lead us to a very interesting topic in character design, which is shape language. Well, the nose is one of those features that I personally really enjoy giving crazy shapes to when I'm designing stylized characters. So I thought I should create a 10 minutes video for it. And I'm sure you're gonna like it when we get to the shape language. So here's the plan. First, we should understand why the nose is such an important feature. Then we will take a quick look at the realistic nose, learning its form and planes. Next, we will explore how we can deform it into stylized shapes and go over how to draw them. And finally, we will dive into shape language so you can choose the perfect nose to sit right in the middle of your character's face. The nose is one of those features that can instantly add a lot of personality to a character. From a side view, it actually plays a major role in defining the head silhouette, and the strong silhouette always helps make a character memorable for us. For example, if someone who has never seen Gru from Despicable Me asks me to describe him or to draw him, I would probably say, he's the guy with a round head and a super sharp nose. That's the first image that pops into my mind. In the world of character design, every feature plays a role in defining the character's personality. And the nose is actually both fun and very important because it sits right in the middle of the face. So the shape that we choose for the nose really matters. But before we learn about designing stylized noses for our characters, let's take a quick look at the realistic nose first. Here is a super simplified version of the planes of an average nose, helping us see it in a more 3D space. When we add more detail, we start to see more plane changes that define the general forms of the nose. Now we can divide the nose into three parts: the walls, a rounded ball at the tip, and the wings on the sides where the nostrils sit. This breakdown helps us view the nose as a set of simple, manageable shapes. One important section of the nose is this area where the angle changes. This is caused by the point where the nasal bone transitions to the upper cartilage of the nose. But in the stylized world, exaggerating this angle lets us create some really fun and unique nose designs. So when we are designing stylized characters, it's all about exaggerating, simplifying, and basically deforming what we see in realistic characters or in real life. Now let's see how we can deform the nose into a more stylized and cartoony shapes. And let's start from the side view because it's a very important angle, and since it defines the silhouette, right? And at the same time, it's the easiest view to draw, to maybe practice and understand the idea. So if we look at our simplified model, there are these sections and plane changes that we can modify and deform. We can tweak each section or even simplify them to create more interesting silhouettes. Let's say we change the red section to a small curve, the yellow one is a long vertical curve, the purple one is shorter, and the blue one is a simple curve. This could be the silhouette of a long, thin, stylized nose. Or here is another one. It's all about modifying those sections. This one could be used for an orc character, for example. Or here you can see that we can simplify the whole section to just two clean curves. It's super simplified and smooth. This could be a nose for an adult female character, for example. Take a look at Elsa's nose from Frozen. It's so similar. We can also start with some basic shapes and try to fit the nose inside them to come up with some really interesting designs. Let's draw a few and see how it works. So we've got these four ovals as heads in the side view, and I'm just starting by drawing a very simple shape for the nose. It could be a triangle, a square, or a circle. Each shape gives a different feeling to the character, so don't be afraid to go wild and try out different ideas. Like this one, it's long and points downward, just like Mr. Gru's nose, sharp and dangerous. This one's also sharp, but it's not long. It's curvy and points upward, which makes it feel totally different from the other one. I usually start by defining the bridge of the nose. It's just a simple line that connects the nose to the eyebrows. Then I draw the nostrils using just 2 or 3 simple lines. Line weight is super useful when sketching, guys. It helps show which areas are in light and which ones are in shadow. So here again, I'm starting with a simple line to define the bridge of the nose. Then I define the nostrils and connect them to the rest of the nose. The top of the nostrils can also be longer to match the overall shape of the nose. Drawing cartoon noses from side view is really easy, guys. Let's draw the last one. This one feels like a good nose for an adult, male or female character. Now we can add the eyebrows to the upper bridge of the nose for all of them, and let's add the eyes too. We haven't even drawn the whole face yet, but you can already feel how each nose shape gives off a totally different vibe. Now let's go ahead and draw another one in perspective. First, let's define the center line. Then, just like before, we start with basic shapes. It could be a triangle, a circle, or even a blocky rectangular form. We can also combine shapes. But this time, keep in mind, we are thinking in 3D as we draw. In this case, maybe we see a little bit of the lower section, and then we can add a line for the upper bridge of the nose. Then we can draw the nostrils and connect the whole nose. Now let's connect the eyebrows to the upper bridge of the nose. And let's add the eyes to see where's he looking. And you know what, guys? You can actually build the whole face starting from the nose. I don't really recommend it as a starting point, but hey, if you know the proportions and structure of the face, you can totally do it. Now, when you draw the nose in perspective, it's a bit trickier than the side view. Try to think of it as a 3D shape. That will really help when you start adding light and shadow, so everything sits on the right plane and looks solid. I usually draw these kinds of guidelines when I draw a crazy weird nose to understand its geometry. So again, remember, start with a simple shape, define the walls and the size of the nose, think of it as a 3D form, then draw the final version right on top. By the way, guys, I've rendered a bunch of these simplified noses from different angles for practice, and you're welcome to download them too for free from the link below. So time to talk about shape language. As a character designer, you gotta understand the meaning behind shapes. We can't just draw a character and then explain who they are afterwards. The shapes that we choose for a character should tell who they are for you. For example, a character could be sneaky, could be nerdy, could be smart, could be jealous, could be strong, could be funny and adorable. There are all kinds of traits that you can communicate this idea to your audience by using certain shapes or by using a combination of certain shapes. And that is the power and magic of shape language. So we've got the three primary shapes: circle, square, and triangle. In character design, circle feels soft, friendly, and innocent. When we use round shapes, the character looks likable. If you look at all these faces, you'll notice there are circles and round shapes everywhere. Seems like our brain naturally reads round shapes as friendly and approachable. As you can see, they all have round-shaped noses right in the center of their faces. And of course, when a character talks or expresses emotion, we're constantly looking at their face. So having a round shape right in the middle can instantly make the whole face feel more friendly and inviting. Square or rectangle shapes make your character feel strong, reliable, and grounded. They're great for someone who follows the rules and sticks to the life framework they've built for themselves. They might be less squishy and friendly, but that doesn't make them bad. As you can see in all these examples, I also used a rectangular, blocky nose to help boost that vibe. Triangle is sharp, dangerous, aggressive, energetic, sneaky, and great for villain characters. Sharp, triangular edges and lines are basically the exact opposite of circles and curved lines. Just look at these sharp, pointy noses. Now, seeing them side by side, you can really feel how shapes carry a vibe and have the power to reveal a character's mentality. Now, when we design characters, we can combine shapes to show different aspects of a character. A cute and adorable character might have a sneaky and dangerous side too. And the more you want to highlight certain trait of that character, the more of that shape you want to bring into the design. Grew from Despicable Me, remember? His face design is a combination of a circle and a triangle. Triangle makes him look a bit sneaky, scary, and dangerous sometimes because his nose is very sharp. But the round shape of his head makes him funny and likable too. He's so squishy. Now let's go back to our happy policeman guy with the round shapes and give him a quick nose job. If we just change his nose to a more triangular one, suddenly he's got a little sneaky vibe going on. He's still that lovable, squishy guy, but now there is a tiny spark of, Can I really trust this guy? Shapes are super important, guys, and the nose is a perfect spot to exaggerate a character's trait by using a right shape for it. Use shapes to boost your character's mentality, your character's personality and mindset in the way that you want. And you will see the power and magic of shapes in your design. If you design with intention, your characters will be way more engaging. I might make another video about noses, diving into differences in age, sex, and race. Honestly, there is so much to talk about nose. But until then, see you next time.